Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, released in 1998 in the arcades in Japan, released in 1999 for the Dreamcast by Capcom. So this is a crossover fighting game. It's a 2D fighting game. It's one of my favorite fighting games because it has my favorite superheroes in it and my favorite fighting game characters in it. This game has 15 playable characters and then it has 20 unplayable guests. So the fighting matches have opportunities for you to summon your guest character. So you have two characters that you select, and then you have guest characters that are kind of automatically selected. There is a way for you to individually select it, but it shoots through real fast and you just gotta press, the attack button or whatever, and it will select on one of the 20 characters, and they have unique animations and unique purposes. So like some of them, like Colossus, will just shoot across the screen and kind of wipe people and hit them aggressively, while other ones just kind of either pew pew from far away or will do some kind of area effect. It's really unique and it's fun to kind of see who you get. And 20 characters is a lot to choose from, to have at your disposal. There are a couple that are just amazing that I like try to get every time. Thor, I think Storm, but I don't even know if Storm's in there actually. I don't know. There are a few of them that I really enjoy getting, and it's fun to use the guest characters. And when you choose a certain one, they only have a certain amount of times that you can summon them. So some of them are really powerful and they kind of cut it back, so you can only use them like 3 or 4 times. Other ones you can use like up to 6 times. And that's just the unplayable guest characters. So the 15 playable characters, and I'm not sure if that's including the 15, because there's a couple secret characters that you can get, but it's just reskins like Venom and War Machine, where you can like get the reskin variant of them, but they're stronger and they have different stats. So this game is pure mayhem. It's just overwhelming if you're not familiar with this style crossover fighting game, because it's not just like Street Fighter where it's you and the opponent and you guys have 2 rounds. It's you have 2 characters plus the character that you summon, the guest character that'll pop in. So it adds so much depth and like stress and chaos to the equation. It's just pure, and like the music and the sound effects don't help when you're feeling like you're overwhelmed. It's like sometimes I turn the volume all the way down if I'm like trying to really, really focus. And I do that with lots of games. Like if I'm in the boss battle and it's just like too much, man, like just dial it back. I'm focusing on this. This is all I can focus on. I'm turning down all the audio. I gotta focus here. And so this game really gets you stressed out, and then it's all the flashing lights and the flashing super quick movements and super quick attacks, and then you're trying to defend yourself, and then all of a sudden he'll pull in the other guy and swap out, and then you're trying to swap out, and it just gets really, really chaotic, but it's so fun to play as these characters. Like, it's really the 2D sprites, the 2D animations, the way that this game is made is timeless. This game will look good forever. It's not something where you're gonna look at it and be like, oh, like some of the PS1 games that you pull up or the N64 games where it's like, these didn't age that great. This game looks amazing. It's iconic. The characters are iconic. The characters that you have to play with And there's just enough to where it's like, okay, if you get bored of your character, you can choose other ones. There are plenty there. So it's simple in the aspect that there aren't too many characters, but it's deep in the aspect that there are more characters per match that you're dealing with. So you have to really understand these characters' specials, these characters' basic attacks, and how they work with other people, with other characters that are there. Because if you're fighting, Venom and Spider-Man, and it's a little different than if you're fighting Spider-Man and Captain America. Or if you have, Strider against the Hulk, and Strider has Venom. It's different the way that they work together and the way that their movesets match. It's hard to understand it all until you put a lot of hours into this game, but it's easy to pick up and play. Like if you're, those characters, I recognize those characters, and you can pick up and play, especially if you're playing against like another person, like not the AI, not the computer. The computer is really good. I haven't figured out a way on the arcade version to turn down the difficulty. I know there's a way to access that stuff, but I just kind of leave it at what it's at, and it's punishing. Like they punish you. If you jump in, you get punished. Like not every time, but it's aware of that stuff, and sometimes I feel like it can read your inputs, but it doesn't take away from the beauty of that game. It's a miracle that it exists, and I know you can't really buy it now. I think the Arcade 1-Up did a release of it, and anything that you get now with it is, resale, so it's not exactly easily accessible unless you sail the high seas, if you know what I mean. But it's so awesome because those characters, it's never gonna happen again with this style of game. They're not gonna remake a 2D pixelated fighting game with these iconic characters in this modern era. It'll be DLC characters, and they'll have characters that they don't look the same. They don't look 2D. They'll just be 3D on a 3D background, and it won't be the same. That's all I'm trying to say. But the music in this game, I prefer it to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I really enjoy, going up against Chun-Li and hearing the theme that's in the Alpha series and in Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. So the sound effects that the characters make adds with the music and adds with the levels and the battles. It's just epic. It feels epic. It feels iconic and epic. The stages stand out as being really well designed. I prefer them over Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which I actually prefer this game over Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's just a little more simple, little less characters to choose from. The level design, in my opinion, the level designs, they put a little more time into it. I know that may be controversial, but I just feel when I look at it feels to me that they took extra time and extra care into the levels. And then the graphics, the 2D graphics, really, really stand out. This game is mayhem. It's crazy, but I love it. And I didn't come across it until a few years ago, and I've been playing it consistently, regularly ever since. 6-button Capcom arcade-style video game. It's amazing. Thanks for tuning in.
Danger!